Greetings, Space Rangers. My name is Jayme, and these are my confessions on PDFs, Passionate Disney Fans. Now, before I get started, I just want to remind you that since I am a Disney cast member, I just want to let you know that these are my own personal views and opinions, and these thoughts do not represent the views of the Walt Disney Company. So I will say this before and after the video. Just to remind you, all viewer discretion is advised. These are my own personal thoughts and opinions. Alright, so passionate Disney fans. I've had the pleasure to work at the Disneyland Resort as a Disney cast member, working at the World of Disney, the biggest store at the park. So I interacted with a lot of guests from literally all around the world. And now that I'm a Disney cast member at the Disney store at Plaza Bonita here in San Diego, I've learned that there's always those select few of guests who are very passionate about Disney. They're really obsessed about Disney, whether it's the occasional Disney know-it-all who knows almost everything about Disney, like the history about Disney, the products about Disney, the history of the characters, like the names, the years of when movies came out, the Disney know-it-all. They're really huge on Disney trivia, and they're out to really outsmart Disney cast members when it comes to products and like movies and all that stuff. Those are the Disney know-it-alls. And there's also just the people who come in all the time, whether it's the annual pass holders at the resorts, whether at Disneyland or Walt Disney World or the other parks throughout the world, or just when you're at the Disney store, the usual people who come in every week, whether they're looking for a certain product or just new products that come in, whether it's Star Wars, whether it's Marvel or Vinylmations, the big collectors, like those who come in for the limited edition items, products. There's those people. And then there's just the other D23 fans who sometimes think they own the right to everything just because they're a club member, or whether they're a Disney Visa fan, or Disney Visa, they own the right to something. There's always a select few of guests who think that just because they have something Disney, or that they've been a loyal fan of Disney, they have the right to do something. And in my personal opinion, it really isn't that. It's not supposed to be that way. When you have an annual pass, it's a privilege. You pay for that privilege. You're not supposed to abuse it. When you sign that contract, you are saying that, say if you want to use your annual pass, whatever credit card you want to pay, the payment that you're doing, it's supposed to be under your name. There's those annual pass holders that think that they can get away with using their annual pass and having their other families or visitors use their annual pass and get their discounts. There's some cast members that really don't care about the discounts, but there's other cast members, especially those who are in the higher up, like the managers and supervisors, that will really take it seriously. And there's been a lot of rules coming into play when it comes to that kind of thing, and that they think they have a right. I've heard stories of people who work in like parking, or like in the parking structure, those who are like transportation. There's annual pass holders who think they have a right for a parking spot, that just because that they have an annual pass, they have a right to a spot, like they have a name on a reserved spot in the structure. And if it's full, they're like, why is it full? I'm an annual pass holder, how is that possible? I'm supposed to be parking in here. No, just because you have an annual pass does not give you the right to park. It gives you the right to be able to go into the park. Sometimes if you're a premium pass holder, good for you. But if you're deluxe, just because you have an annual pass doesn't give you the right to go into the park. When it's up to full capacity, they limit admission to even cast members. So you got to think about that. You don't have the right. It's a privilege to have that annual pass. There's not everybody in the world is able to afford an annual pass. I already talked about the Disney know-it-alls. I talked about the annual pass holders. Now we could talk about the people who are just regular fans who attend like D23 events. They're D23 members. They collect a lot of things. They're obsessed with Disney. They're Disney's #1 fan. Like Disney's greatest fan, and there really is no standard or mark for that. And the thing about being big Disney fans is that there's always going to be a bigger Disney fan. Like I already showed you my Disney collection and things like that. There's probably a lot of more people who have a room full of pop vinyls or Disney animator dolls or a lot of Disney clothes. And I think I already have a lot of Disney clothes, but I'm pretty sure there's someone out there that has a wardrobe of Disney clothes, a full closet. And what really bugs me about the big Disney fans is that they brag about it. They brag about being a Disney fan, but the thing about Disney is that you're not supposed to be brag. You're supposed to appreciate what Disney brings to everyone, and how being with Disney and loving Disney is what makes us all kids. You're not supposed to talk down to people about Disney. And also, when you're at the parks, if you go to the park on a Saturday during the summer, don't complain that the lines are long and that the food lines are long. Of course the lines are going to be long. It's a Saturday during the summer. You can't expect it to be clear as day, even on a Tuesday or a Wednesday in the middle of the week in the summer. Of course, it's still going to be busy, but I hate those people who like to complain a lot at the parks. Those Disney fans who think they have the right, like they know the system, they know what Disney is all about, and just because they go to the parks every day, they understand how it all works. The tough thing about being a Disney cast member is that we really pick and choose our moments to make magical moments, and it's very difficult to do that when we deal with rude guests. And the thing about these guests is that they're rude because they expect like a certain level of service, but they take it to a different level because they think they have the right to that service. And when they're being rude, it doesn't help us. It's very difficult when a guest is being rude to us and we have to be nice to them. Like say a guest is demanding a certain product and they think they have the right to the product, and just because they're an annual pass holder, or they're like they come to the store every day, or things like that. They think they own the right to have that product, or and I don't know. I'm losing it already, man. It's like man. It really get really frustrating. If you realize that you're one of those people who think that you know it all, or you're that annual pass holder that thinks they have the right to everything, and I don't mean to insult you in any way. I'm telling you from my point of view, and I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of other cast members out there who feel the same way as I do, because it's very difficult to work in that kind of environment when we have to interact with those guests who really think they know it all, and they think that they could do a better job than us. And it really is. People think that it's a simple job, and it really isn't, because sometimes we have to pick and choose our moments of when we're going to be being able to create that magical moment. And honestly, it takes that one demanding guest who is very who thinks they know it all, who is very rude, and sometimes it takes that one guest to just change our whole day. It happened to me a lot at World of Disney, where I would be rolling through my 8-hour shift, and suddenly after my lunch, or after 5 hours, I interact with that one guest who demands so much, or they think they're right, and it can really change that. It can really change the way that you run things throughout the day once you deal with that guest. Again, these are my thoughts and point of views, and that this is just my confession on what we cast members deal on a daily basis, whether you're at the park or whether you're at the Disney stores. I just want to, if you're one of those regular guests, just keep that in mind. Please do not be rude to our Disney cast members, because we do our best. We really do. We do our best to create those magical moments for our guests. So just keep that in mind. Honestly, I know in the beginning it seemed like I was ranting, but this is pretty much, I want to send that message to those guests that I pointed out in the beginning. The annual pass holders, the regulars who come to the stores, and the huge collectors, the Disney fans, the know-it-alls, the Disney trivia the guys and girls. Just keep it in mind. From a Disney cast member to you. Appreciate it. All right, and that'll be it for today. These are my confessions on the passionate Disney fans. If you are a Disney cast member, please share this with our other fellow cast members. Maybe they'll feel the same way after and maybe they'll feel better that there's other cast members that feel the same way. And sometimes there's cast members that aren't comfortable sharing their points of views, especially when it comes to that subject. And it happens a lot. So there you go. That's my video on passionate Disney fans. I'll see you all next time. Peace.